Hello and welcome to another Fit 30 strength and conditioning session with me, Niran, and joining me today is Suvini for a 30-minute belly burn workout.
That's right. In today's session, we'll be working on our core to ensure a good belly burn. I hope you're excited to work those abs with us.
We'll start the session with a 4-minute warm-up, followed by 16 minutes of main workout, and end the workout with a 4-minute cool down.
For all those who are working out for the first time or about a month, follow me as I will be performing the scaled down version of all the movements. But for all those who have been working out for about 6 to 8 months, follow Niran who will perform all the advanced movements.
Before we get started, keep a bottle of water and towel close by, and let's begin with the warm-up.
We're going to start with the spot jog. Before we start our warm-up, just take a couple of deep breaths. Shake your body out, loosen up. We're going to start with the spot jog in 3, 2, and 1. Just keep moving. Keep it light on your feet.
The guys doing the scaled up version, just ensure that you're lifting your knees up and try to go a little quicker, not too fast on round 1 though.
Scale down, keep it slow. Make sure that you're keeping a steady pace. We're just warming up.
Scale down or scaled up, make sure you're moving your hand as well.
Alright, we're done with this one. Next up is the butt kicks. I'm just going to show you from the side. You're going to get your ankle all the way up to your butt and back and repeat on the other side. Alright, for my beginners, for scale down, you're just going to keep moving one leg at a time. But for the advanced,
we shall just make sure we're hopping, stay light on the feet, and get that little bit of a hop in. We good to go?
Good to go.
Yeah? Let's start movement number 2 for the warm-up. Butt kicks, hands back, and we start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Keep the chest up as you do this. Make sure to get the heel back as much as possible. And keep the breathing in check.
It's going to get your heart rate up for sure.
You can feel that already in just the movement 2. Make sure you guys are landing soft. The scaled down or the scaled up. And that's done. Movement 2 is done for the warm-up.
Next we have the hip gate openers. We're going to do it on alternate legs. Hands on your hips. Going to open out and then bring it back in. Make sure you get your knee up nice and high, and then we're going to move back in. We're going to do this on each side, alternate legs.
Yep, and we're going to have the same thing for the scaled up and the scaled down version. Just go as much as you're comfortable, lift the leg up as high as you can depending on your comfort level.
And if you're going to feel like you're going to lose balance, you can grab onto something and follow our lead. Shall we start?
Yep.
3, 2, and 1.
Just make sure you lift your knees up as high as you can as of now, depending on what your comfort level is. And as you do that, get the knees out. Lift it up, take it out as much as you can, and then repeat the same movement as you come back. Lift it up and then bring it in.
Just gonna get your hips open for all the movements that we're about to perform.
And that's done.
The next one, we have the half cobra to mountain. So we get down on the ground. You're gonna do a half cobra. Keep your elbows soft, feet together, chest off the ground. And then we're going to tuck our toes in, lift your hips up, keep your knees soft and your back straight, and we're going to do a mountain. All right? 30 seconds. For my beginners, it's all right if you bend your knees. Just make sure your back is straight in the mountain.
Awesome. Good to go.
We're going to start in 3, 2, and 1.
Make sure you lift your chest up as high as possible when you're doing the half cobra. And while you're doing the half cobra, push your hips down and lift the chest up. When as you switch to the mountain from there, The focus is to lift your hip as high as you can and drive your heel down to make sure you feel that stretch in the hamstring. And you start to prepare all the muscles in the back as well for the movements coming up.
And we are done with that.
Grab yourself some water and come back, and we'll start round number 1 to show you all movement 1. Now for movement number 1, we have something called the high plank shoulder tap. As we do this, I want you all to go to the high plank. I'm going to show you this way so you can see the shoulder tap. Make sure your hands are directly below the chest. From here, without moving your hip, I want you all to tap opposite shoulder. Try and maintain the hip right there. Don't turn as you get the hand up. That's going to be the scaled up version.
For the scale down version, we're going to keep our knees on the ground. Push your hip forward a bit so that your palms are directly under your shoulders, and we're just going to tap. Keep it slow and make sure that your core is engaged.
So we good to go?
Good to go.
Yep. Let's get to position and start movement number 1. Remember, 40 seconds of work. So pace yourself out for run number 1 to understand the movements. Let's get to position. Hands directly below the chest. And we start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. As we do this, keep your feet hip width apart. If you like, you can keep it slightly wider, but make sure you have a straight line from your shoulder to your heel, which means your hips need to be slightly below shoulder level if you're doing the scaled up or the scaled down version.
This is just the first round, so take it slow. Make sure you understand the movement.
10 seconds more.
Don't forget to keep breathing.
And that's done. Movement number 1 is done. We're going to stay down for movement number 2. So for this one, we're going to be lying on our back. As we do this, make sure you rest the lower back. We're going to work opposite hand and leg. So get the knee in and the elbow goes to knee, and we keep alternating side. As we do this for the scaled up version, we're going to keep the leg off the floor for every rep through the 40 seconds.
For the scale down version, you're going to rest your leg down and just get your knee up opposite elbow to knee, and rest back down and do it on the opposite side as well.
So we're good to go?
Good to go.
Let's get to position. All of you lie on your back. Let's get one leg up, and we start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move. As you do this, the focus is to rotate the upper body to try and get your knee to the elbow. Keep the lower back pressed against the floor and extend the leg to challenge yourself.
I can feel the burn already. Can you?
Ten more seconds. Remember the scale down version. Drop the leg down as you extend it.
Take a steady pace.
And that's done. Movement number 2 is done. Movement number 3 is going to be the side plank. So we're going to stay down. So all our movements for today are going to be staying down. So movement number 3, the side plank. Get the elbow directly below the shoulder. One leg over the other. Hip pushed forward and up. We're going to maintain that over there. We're just going to stay in position. This is going to be the scaled up version.
For the scale down version, again, ensure your elbow is directly under your shoulder. Lift your hips up off the ground, and to balance, you can probably keep one foot in front and hold this position. Yep, ready to go.
Good to go? Awesome. Let's get to position. And let's start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move. Ensure that your elbow is directly below the shoulder. We're going to be doing 20 seconds on each side over here. Lift the hips up and push it forward.
You can just rest your other hand on your hip. Stay comfortable, just keep breathing.
Well done so far. You can really see really feel that on the sides. Let's switch side now. There's 20 seconds done. Let's go the other side. Once again, elbow directly below the shoulder. Push the hip up and forward and start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Here's the other option you'll have for the scale down version. It's a little easier in case you're very new to this class. is to drop the lower leg and bend the knee in the bottom. Keep the top leg straight. That makes it a little easier in case you're very new to this. If you want to challenge yourself, know what Sydney is doing. And we are done with the side plank. The next one is going to be something called the bird dog. That's movement number 4, which is the last one for round number 1. For this, I want all of you to have your palms directly below shoulder and your knees directly below the hips. From here, first you got to ensure that you have a straight back. Then one leg goes up in line with the hip and the opposite hand comes forward. From there, we bring the knee to elbow and back. Knee towards elbow and back without touching. We're going to be doing 20 seconds in each side, and that's going to be the scaled up version.
For the scaled down version, again, palms under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're going to keep our palms down so that you're comfortable with the movement. Just drive your knee in and out. And repeat on the same side. We're going to do each side for 20 seconds.
Brilliant. So let's get to position. Palms directly below the shoulder and knees directly below the hips. And we're going to start this in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move. Remember, we're working one side first. So in case your right leg is up, then your left hand is going to be up. So you're working the cross section of the body. So this is going to challenge your abs a lot.
It's all right if you lose balance, just keep moving.
And that's done. Let's do the other side. Let's get to position and start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move.
Make sure to extend your leg completely.
As you extend the leg in the back, make sure it's at hip level. Nothing more, nothing less. So as you get to hip level, that's going to also challenge your glutes. And that's done. Round number 1 is done. Grab yourself some water and come back. Round number 2, we'll focus once again in terms of technique. So now for round number 2, movement 1, high plank shoulder tap. I'm going to quickly run you all through this again. Scaled up version, hands directly below the shoulder. Tap opposite shoulder without moving the hips like that. Yeah? That's going to be a scaled up version.
Scaled down version, you're going to keep your knees down, drive your hips forward, palms under your shoulders, and just tap your shoulders.
Okay, so you remember both the options now. So let's get to position. Palms directly below the shoulder, and let's start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move. Every time you bring the hand up, challenge yourself by keeping the movement minimal at the hip.
Ensure you're bracing your core, and obviously don't forget to breathe.
As you get tired, you have the tendency of lifting the hips higher than the shoulder. Do not let that happen. Keep breathing. 10 more seconds.
You feel this working on my shoulders as well?
Oh yes. All the single hand work is challenging us too. And that's done. Stay down on the mats for movement number 2. That's going to be the bicycle crunches. The scaled up version is where we get the shoulder blades off and keep the leg in the air throughout. Opposite knee to elbow.
Scaled down version, you're going to rest one leg down, lift the knee, and drop it back, and repeat the same on the other side.
Brilliant. So let's get ready. And we're going to start this in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Guys, as you get tired, which is going to happen in a workout like this, you do not need to extend the knee all the way. Just do a half extension. So that's going to be a little less of a challenge for you to stay in the game.
For my beginners, if you want to challenge yourself a little more, try and twist your body. Get your elbow to your knee.
Remember, the focus is to turn with the upper body as much as you can, which will work the obliques. 10 more seconds. Ooh. This one is really challenging.
You can really feel the burn.
And that's done. Movement 2 is done. Movement number 3, side plank for 20 seconds each side. Elbow directly below the shoulder, one leg over the other, hip forward and up for the scaled up version.
For the scaled down version, just drop one leg in front and maintain this posture.
Let's get to position and let's start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Remember to keep the hips up in the scale down or the scaled up version and push your hip forward. It's common tendency to drive the hips back to make it easier.
Just 20 seconds, guys. You can do it.
It's challenging. Stay with us. Breathing as you do this. And that's done. Let's change sides. Let's go the other side. Elbow directly below the shoulder. And start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Hips up. Maintaining the elbow directly below the shoulder makes it a little easier. If your elbow is ahead, there's a little too much pressure on the shoulder, which is not required.
Make sure your shoulders are in the same line.
And that's done. Movement number 3 is done. Movement number 4, the bird dog. To quickly show you all this, palms directly below the shoulder, knees directly below the hips. From your opposite hand and leg, get the knee to elbow and away again. Knee to elbow, away again. 20 seconds each side, that's the scaled up version.
For the scale down version, again, palms directly under your shoulders, knees under your hips. You're going to use only your legs, so tuck your knee in and stretch your leg out behind you. Make sure to maintain it at hip level.
Good to go?
Yep.
Come on, let's go. Movement number 4, bird dog, get to position. And we start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move. Bring the knee to elbow. Try and touch it. And like Suvini said in round number 1, if you're losing balance, don't worry about it. Just drop the leg or the hand and get back to position in a second or 2. And that's done. Let's change side. Let's get the other leg and hand up. And we start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move. Bring the heel back in line with the hip. So full extension of the leg and in line with the hip.
How are you feeling?
Not too good. And that's done. Round number 2 is done. Like you can see, both of us sweating it out.
For sure.
And I'm sure you are too. So grab yourself some water before you come back for round number 3. So let's jump into round number 3. We know the movements now. Movement number 1, high plank, shoulder tap. Good to go?
Good to go.
Let's go. Position and we start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move. What you could do at this point in time, for the ones who want to challenge yourself, is to go a little quicker, but remember to maintain the hip in the same position. The movement from the hip should be minimal.
For beginners as well, you can pick up the pace with the shoulder taps. Make sure your hips are all the way in front. And just keep moving.
And 10 more seconds. Make sure your hips are slightly below shoulder level. Last few seconds to finish movement 1 in round 3. And that's done. Movement number 2, bicycle crunches.
Oh gosh.
Painful one. Let's get to position. Line your back. And we're going to start this in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go.
40 seconds is no joke.
Whew. 40 seconds on this one feels forever. Remember your options to keep the knees soft. You don't need to extend all the way in case you're getting challenged. Keep the knees soft, but try and challenge yourself by lifting the shoulder blades off the floor.
Remember, for the advanced movements, follow Niran. And if you're doing the scale down version, you can follow me.
Well done so far. 10 more seconds. The most painful part.
Come on, guys. Push yourself.
And that's done. That's always a painful one. Movement 3, side plank. Let's get to position. Elbows directly below the shoulder. And we're going to start this in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Remember, hip forward and up. Maintain that right there. Keep breathing. The scaled down version, you can follow Suvini. I'll give you an option sometime back to drop the lower leg, keep the knees on the floor rather than the heel. And that's done. Let's change sides. 20 seconds on the other side. Get to position, and we start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Drive your hip forward as much as possible. Make sure there's a straight line from your shoulder all the way to your heel. Don't let this happen. That's not going to be as effective. Want to lift the hips up and maintain it there.
Really feeling the burn.
And that's done. Movement 3 done. Movement number 4, bird dog. The last movement for round number 3. Get to position. Palms directly below the shoulder. Knees directly below the hips. Let's start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move. Get your knee to elbow and drive back out. As you bring your knee to elbow, you could add a small crunch into this. Challenge yourself a little more.
Don't forget to keep breathing.
And that's done. So the other side, 20 seconds. We start in 3, 2, and 1. Let's move.
Challenge yourselves. Try and drive your knees a little forward and then all the way back. You'll feel the work on your midsection.
Extend the leg in the back and make sure you're bringing it up to hip level. And that's done. Excellent job there. Grab yourself some water, guys, and then come back in for stretches. We got to do a cool down over here, so make sure you guys come back in for that.
All right, so cool down is really important. You need to work on stretching the muscles that you've just literally burnt out.
Nope.
So we're going to start off with the stretching. Take a couple of deep breaths, relax your body. We're going to start off with the standing quad stretch. I'm going to turn to the side to demonstrate. So hold by your ankle, pull your ankle towards your butt and hold it there. Make sure you keep your quads close, but losing my balance, close together, and push your knees back for a deeper stretch. We're gonna hold this for 30 seconds on each leg. Let's start.
Yep.
Grab your ankle.
And let's begin. In case you guys are losing balance, don't worry about it. Try to grab something close by, because we are going to be a little shaky because your core is needed as well for you to be standing there. And that's been worked a lot right now.
Make sure you take deep breaths in. We're cooling down. And relax yourself.
Keep your chest up as you do this.
And switch legs. Grab onto that ankle. Drive your knee back just a little bit so that you can feel that stretch on your quads.
Keep the knees close to each other, like Suvini mentioned while demoing the stretch, and pull the leg back as much as you can. Keep the chest up. Nice deep breaths.
And with that, let's go in for the hamstring stretch. Get your leg out on the heel, and we're gonna bend down. Make sure your back leg is bent and reach down towards your foot. If you're a beginner, you can hold it maybe at your shin or even at your knee, but as long as you're feeling the stretch on your hamstrings, you're good to go. So we're gonna do this 30 seconds on each leg. Ready? Get one leg out, and let's start.
Okay, just reach as much as you can, depending on where you're slightly uncomfortable. You should not be comfortable over there. So slight discomfort as you do the stretch. Rather, for any of the stretches, a slight discomfort on that particular muscle is great.
With each exhalation, you can try and push yourself further down, but make sure that you're feeling that stretch. And we're gonna switch to the other leg. Reach down as much as you can, wherever you're comfortable. Just make sure you feel that stretch.
Just drive your hips back as much as possible, allowing you to drop your upper body down a little lower. And like Suvini mentioned earlier, If you're reaching your knees, it's perfectly fine as long as you're feeling the stretch on the back of the leg. Nice deep breaths.
And we're done with that one. Next up, we have the half cobra to child's pose. It's for all the ab work that you've done. So we're going to get down on the floor and palms next to your chest. Lift your chest up off the ground. Keep your elbows soft and just keep breathing. That's for 30 seconds. And then we're going to go into the child's pose. Drive your hips back as far as they can go and just rest here. All right? Let's start this in 3, 2, and 1.
As you do the half cobra, make sure you're driving your hips down and lift the chest up as high as you can. Pull your shoulder blades back together and keep your elbows soft. The focus over here is to stretch the abs. So lift the chest up and drop the hip down.
Don't forget to keep breathing. You've come this far. Make sure you stretch properly.
The stretch sure feels good after the workout.
I'm sure it does. And we're going to switch to child's pose. Drive your hips back. Extend your arms out. And just keep breathing.
Guys, push your hips back as much as you can and walk the hands forward to keep lengthening the back. So you're focusing on driving the hips back and walking your hands forward. That's your focus with this. Nice deep breaths.
And we're done with this. Last stretch, the shoulders and for the triceps. So for your shoulders, we're going to get one hand across, hold it and pull towards your body. And we're going to repeat the same on the other side. Make sure when you're doing this stretch, you keep your body facing forward. Don't turn your body at any cost. It doesn't help you stretch as much, okay? And then we're going to do the tricep stretch. So get your elbow towards the center of your head and hold it there. And then we're going to repeat on the other side. Ready?
Yep.
Let's start in 3, 2, and 1.
Just grab the elbow and pull it towards your opposite shoulder. Big focus on breathing, this being the last 2 stretches. You want a heart rate to be almost back to normal by the time we finish our stretches.
We're going to switch. Get your other hand across and pull.
Keep your hand at shoulder level. Keep the chest up.
I'm going to switch to the triceps. Get your elbow up and pull it towards the center of your head. Hold it there. Keep breathing.
Yes, keep pulling it in. Every time you exhale, try to pull your hand in just a little bit more.
And we're going to switch hands. Like Niran said, keep pulling it closer to the center of your head. And
I
we're
feel good.
done.
Excellent work.
Great job. We had a fantastic workout today. Good job, guys.
Guys, remember that stretches are very, very important after every single session that you do. If you feel like doing a little bit more stretches, it's good to do that. And you can also do that through the day because stretching the muscles is only going to make you feel better and also get the blood flow back in. So for the next day, you're good to go without any soreness.
That was a good tip. Stay consistent with your workouts, guys, and you are bound to see yourself grow and become stronger and healthier.
That's all from us. We hope you had a great workout. We'll see you in another session soon. Bye-bye.